So, good morning. Good morning. I haven't done a morning stream for what seems like an eternity, but I finally made it. And StreamYard, seriously, just spinning. It's doing a Danny Ceballos. It was just spinning around as I'm pressing go live, just spinning around for literally like what seemed like maybe 10 minutes, maybe 8, 9, 10 minutes, something like that. So I had to close the whole Mac down and start all over again. And now we're live. So yeah, this is happening all too often with this platform as well. So we might have to look at alternatives. But big up to everyone who was sticking around. There was 100 of you waiting. So I do apologise, but unfortunately, it was nothing I could do about it. But make sure before we get into talking, not just about Danny Ceballos, but about Matt Ryan as well. Before we do that, make sure you smash the likes up and make sure you follow me on Discord as well. Well over 200 people on that in less than, well, just around 25, 26, 27 hours, something like that. So thanks very much to every single one of you who has followed me on Discord. And I'm getting used to it. Big up to everyone who's helping on that as well. I do appreciate it. But let's start off with Danny Ceballos, because this is a little bit of a mad one. I'm reading multiple different reports today that suggest we are actually going to spend £25 million on a fidget spinner. £25 million. Wow. I suppose it beats spending £80 million on a fridge. I suppose on the balance of play, it's not actually too bad, is it? But £25 million for a player who can't get in the team on a regular basis. Even when fully fit, he sits on the bench when Partey and Xhaka are available. And even sometimes when El Neni gets in the team over him, I don't really understand. 22 to 25 million pounds for a player that came with some big reputation and hasn't really done it. You know, he's been good. And when he's good, listen, let's just get this right. Let's just stick all of our cards on the table. When he's good, he's brilliant. How many times has he been good since he's been here? I don't really think it's more than 5, 6 maybe. Fantastic in the quarterfinal against Sheffield United. Scored the winning goal in that game. Fantastic on his actual debut for Arsenal against Burnley under Unai Emery. 10 out of 10 performance that day. He was absolutely brilliant. Other than that, where else was he good? I'm struggling. Now, obviously, there is more games than that, but just off of the top of my head, I can only think of a handful. Like, it's mad. If it was 10 to 15 million pound, then yeah, cool. Maybe we could do that, because listen, he could be a good backup guy. And you man are saying I look like Cantona, you know. I wish I could play football as good as Cantona. Let's go full Eric Cantona, bruv. Let's go for it. But yeah, I just think, like, for a guy who can't get consistently into the Arsenal team, when we're apparently struggling for money during this pandemic, don't forget also here, we do have a £120 million loan that we have to pay back to the government in May, which I'm looking at that thinking that is going to be the killer here, because, you know, people were banging on about, yes, the summer window, we're getting loads of money off the wage bill, blah, 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 blah. And I think a lot of people have forgotten that we do owe £120 million to the government, and it does have to be paid by May in one lump sum, by the way. So that was the excuse to not spend in January. That excuse is now going to roll on into the summer, because when people get to the point where they realize, oh, we do have to pay that money back, that's now going to be an excuse for this club not to go out there and actively buy proper players. Me personally, you guys that watch me every day know my thoughts on this summer window. Jack Grealish, Yves Bissouma, and Tariq Lamptey. They're the 3 we have to go for. People are sit and laugh at that and say, oh, it's not realistic. Well, it is realistic. They all play for clubs that are supposedly worse than ours. So why can't we go and entice a Jack Grealish? Why can't we go and entice a Bissouma and a Lamptey? If you put enough money on the table, you get your man. It's as simple as that. With Ceballos, I look at it and I think, like, since he's been here, he came in with this big reputation, like I said. He's come to us, handful of good performances, and I just don't get the hype around him. He can't play number 10 because he hasn't got the quality in passing to play a number 10 role. He also hasn't got the legs to drive forward enough either. So he can't play number 8. Can't play number 6 because he ain't got the physicality. What is he actually good at? I don't really see it. Yes, sometimes he's very technically good on the ball. But the amount of times I just see him and he just goes fidget spinning around and around and around and then passes the simple pass backwards. Very, very rarely see him making a killer pass. Big up Saeed. And never really see him driving forward over halfway, trying to get, on top of people, flying up to the back 4, making people make the runs off him and then sliding people through. So if that ain't his game, scoring goals ain't really his game, defending's not really his game, what actually is he good at? What position is he good at? Because I don't really see it. Yes, when Burnley will stand off of us at the Emirates and he's spraying passes around on his debut, he looked fantastic. When people are pressing him, he's very Granit Xhaka-esque. Under the press and somebody coming and challenging you real quick, he does make a lot of silly mistakes. And 20 to 25 million quid, I'm sorry, I'd rather put that towards somebody like Basuma or even Odegaard. Odegaard is technically better than him, can drive forward better than him, probably scores more than him, albeit he's only played a handful of games for us so far, and can actually break the lines with killer passes. So I don't really see why we're looking at Dani Ceballos. Maybe he is a cheap option compared to some other players that we might want to look at that might be 35, 40, 45, 50 million pounds. It's a cheap and cheerful option. Apparently it's a 4-year deal if we do sign him. So, yeah, great. 4-year deal with Dani Ceballos, baby. Remember they said Pep was done without Arteta. Yeah, do you remember when they shipped 5 against Leicester? And everyone was saying, oh, that's what Arteta did for him. He was setting up the defence. Yes, they've only shipped 9 in 22 other games this season. Yeah, well done. Anyway, big up yourself, my guy. I appreciate your donations. Big up to everyone watching. There's 400 people watching real quick. And I'm going to try and do quite a few of these early-ish streams when the football's on. Champions League, etc. Can we just say as well, what a masterclass from Kylian Mbappe last night. What a player. And people were comparing him to Rashford. Maybe compare Rashford to Walcott. That's probably a better comparison. Leave Mbappe out of this, bruv. Mbappe's levels. What a player, man. What a player. But anyway, just to finish up on Dani Ceballos, a lot of you in the chat are saying about Basuma, 30 million, may as well do that. I think he might cost a little bit more than that, me personally, but yeah, I don't think he's going to be much more than Dani Ceballos money. So I don't really understand, if I'm honest. Big up all the Twitch gang. I'm very good. We got Ricken in the chat rating Dani Ceballos, Danny is top class. Wow, bruv, pass the weed. Pass the weed, my friend. Pass the weed. I hope you're good, Ricken. Hope you're good, mate. I don't really. Another one. Big up Zidane. He reckons he's underrated. I don't see what he does, if I'm honest. I genuinely don't. And I'm in a position where I just do not rate this board to go out there this summer and do what is required to make us into challenging for not only top 4, but even more. And people say, yeah, but you've got to take baby steps, this and that. Well, weren't this the season that we were taking them baby steps up to 4th place? And then next season, once everyone had got the dead wood out, we were then going to go and do the madness and go and kick on to try and win a title. It seems like this season has just been a complete and utter shambles and a write-off. Yes, we've got rid of some of these players. Mesut Ozil was massive to get out of this club, but we did have to pay him to leave. Let's not forget that. He's still getting paid his wages. So he's been paid all of his way. In fact, they've probably not even paid him the lump sum. They're probably still paying it across the end of his contract every month or every week, whatever it may be. Same with Mustafi and Socrates. We've had to pay them to leave. So great that we've got them out. Fantastic. And that will help us massively next season and the season after. But Joe Willock, loan. Maitland-Niles, loan. Kolasinac, unless they stay up, Schalke, he'll be back. So there's 3 out of 6. Matt Macy was on hardly any wages anyway. He's completely left as well. So out of 7 players we've got out of this football club, 3 of them are likely to return. And with our current left-back situation at this football club, I would not be surprised one bit if Kolasinac is here next season. Let's move on to Maitland, not Maitland-Niles. Let's move on to Matt Ryan, because there's a lot of talk going around today as well that we're going to sign him up. Now, this is one that I would take. This is one that I would be happy with. I wouldn't be too disappointed with Matt Ryan coming in as number 2. We see in his first and only performance for us this season that that he's actually a competent goalkeeper. The way he shouts and barks orders at the defence is levels above Leno, because Leno's not very vocal. Leno's good at certain other things, but he definitely ain't been a vocal goalkeeper since he's been here. This goalkeeper, levels above Runnison, levels above some of the goalkeepers we've had over the years. And I don't know how much it'd cost to sign, but there is a lot of reports saying that we are going to sign him and we want to keep him. So listen, the way he saves, he parries them miles away. He's not got spaghetti wrists where he's just flapping them and they're going in like Kepa. So yeah, I'd be actually really happy if we sign that. There you go, clip it. Lee would be happy. Lee would be happy. And I'm judging by some of the comments in the chat as well, I think you guys would be quite happy with it as well. About 10 million quid for Ryan. Well, listen, that ain't too shabby, is it? And he wouldn't mind playing second fiddle to Leno, whereas Martinez, as much as I love him and as much as it hurts me that he's gone, he's too good to be a second choice goalkeeper or a backup goalkeeper. Matt Ryan, he ain't Leno level. Yeah, he ain't that good. But what he is a very decent, competent second choice goalkeeper that has had Premier League experience playing first team football week in, week out, and would be ideal for Europa League if we get it, maybe the cup competitions, FA Cup, League Cup, etc., etc. I don't know. But the one thing I will say is if it is around 10 million quid, just go and do it, because there's a lot of other goalkeepers out there that are around that kind of level that would probably cost more money and would want to come in and be number 1 as well. Even if they cost around 10, 12 million, they'd still want to be the number 1. And I'm sure Matt Ryan does have aspirations of breaking in and taking Leno's spot, but we all know that ain't going to happen, because this manager, number 1, has his favourites. We all know who they are. Leno hasn't done anything wrong to be dropped from number 1, other than coming out and playing volleyball the other day, which he served his ban, and he was back in the team and looked pretty decent again. So Leno's the least of our worries right now. Matt Ryan, all day long, I'll take that deal. 10 million quid, get it done. Get it done, baby. Get it done. Big up to Loves Music. Lee, what the fuck is going on at your club? Lunatics running the asylum. Wicked content, by the way, from a Spurs fan. Next, Becky B will get a 5-year deal. Bruv, don't even joke about that, because that is coming. Trust me. That's coming. Becky B, after he scored his great goal the other day, and it was a good goal. And thanks for your donation, buddy. I don't even know what's going on at our club, mate. I think that, some of the signings we've made over the last 18 months, a lot of them have been questionable. Danny Ceballos is one of them. I questioned that the day that we were linked with him, because I said I don't think he'll cut it. Odegaard remains to be seen what we do with him in the summer, because he's coming out with a big talk about, yes, I want to go back to Madrid and, I'm just concentrating on my football and this and that. But Arsenal have helped me a lot, so you never know, never say never, all that crap. So he's kind of leaving that open. Let's see how he does between now and the end of the season. Obviously, we've got Guendouzi as well. And I'm looking at it. I know a lot of you guys who are watching this right now don't rate Guendouzi. I think he's class. I think that is somebody that we should be signing up to a new extended contract, because I think he's only got a year left this summer, maybe 2. I don't know. I think it's only a year left he's got this summer. Maybe sign him up to a new deal and protect his value, because he's got more value than Danny Ceballos. Because I think if we had Guendouzi under a proper contract for 3 or 4 years, I reckon he's worth a hell of a lot more than Danny Ceballos. I think he offers more than Danny Ceballos. And there's a lot of talk today that we're going to sell him for around the same sort of fee as Danny Ceballos is being tipped at, 22, 25 million. Same with Lucas Torreira. That's another one doing the rounds today. So yeah, there's a lot of shopping that needs to be done in the summer, and there's a lot of players that are going to be here that we're all going to have the umper still going to be here, and I'm convinced, I am convinced 100% at some point Hector Bellerin will get a new contract. In fact, I'm going to check and see when his contract ends. I'm sure it's not this summer, the following one. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Smash the likes up while I'm doing this. If you would, that'd be great. Make sure you subscribe as well. I'm going to be back again in an hour on Matisse's channel. Then I'll be back again on here about 3 o'clock. Then I'll be back again on here at about 6:30 doing a preview for Benfica. So 3 times today you got me on this channel. Let's have a look at Becky B. I actually typed in Becky B. That's why I didn't come up. Hector Bellerin stats. Let's go to Transfer Market and see what they're saying on his contract. I'm sure it's 2022. There you go. Oh, it's 2023. Jesus Christ, we're ruined. We're ruined. It's actually 2023. Oh my God. 2023. Wow. Wow-wee. Wow. 2023, Hector Bellerin. Oh, man. I see a lot of you are rating Guendouzi these days. Come on, where's all this love? And do you know what? I've said the narrative with Guendouzi is kind of funny because, oh, he's got an attitude problem. What, for sticking up for Leno? Grabbing older Malpai around the throat. He stuck up for his teammate. What's wrong with that? I don't get that. He's got an but because he didn't apologize. Well, why should he? Like, I make Arteta right for dropping him. Yeah, because you can't be running around telling people you're on 40 bags a week and weird crap. But at the same time, you've got to take it with a little bit of a pinch of salt. He's a kid. He's come from some dead league, and he's come into Arsenal and he played week in, week out, 80 odd games or whatever it was, and got a 40 grand a week contract. That must go to any teenager's head. So, you know, the way that's been handled, the way he's been managed by this club, I think it's a disgrace, if I'm honest. But I'd love to see him come back. I'd love to see him get back into the team and prove everyone wrong. Because if it's all right for Granit Xhaka to get 2, 3, 4, 5 chances under this manager and not apologise for red cards and stuff like that, then why is it not okay for Guendouzi? I don't understand. I don't get it. But we'll see. We'll see. Big up to Donald McShane. Good old Irish name, that one, mate. Big up to you, my guy. Thank you for your donation, buddy. Morning, Lee. Not a gooner, but I really enjoy your content. Should be leaving comments more. All the best with your plans in the future with the channel and wishing you success. Never change. Bro, that's very nice words. Appreciate that, man. Very, very kind of you as well and generous, mate. Appreciate that. Have a wicked day, man. And, bro, I'm just saying what I say, innit? Like, I don't dress it up. I could easily sit here and play up to the crowd. I don't want to play up to a crowd. I want to give my honest opinions about my football club. And that's what I do. And about the players and stuff like that. If that upsets people, then they need to get out more. Yeah, even though we're in lockdown and that, go for a walk, get some fresh air. It really ain't that deep, you know. So big up to you, mate. Really appreciate the kind words, man. Thank you very much. But yeah, let's do a few more of these comments for 5-10 minutes or so. Let's read this one. People were deflecting the blame on Arteta, saying the players are not good enough. Fast forward a few months, we have offered contracts to all of these bad players. That's so true as well. It's true, isn't it? We're offering David Luiz a new contract. We're offering Danny Ceballos a new contract. Rob Holding's just signed a new contract. It won't be long until Becky B gets one. When's Granit Xhaka's deal run out? Let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at Granit Xhaka. Let's have a look at Xhaka. Oh, dear. Right. Granit Xhaka. He's 2023 as well. Interesting. 2023. He's played over 200 times for Arsenal. That's the longest he's, or the most games he's played for a single football club. That's kind of mad. Capped 85 times for Switzerland. But yeah, there we go. But no, you're spot on, man. You're spot on. You are spot on. Let's continue to do some more of these. You man are funny in the chat, by the way. But we've also got a few, like I said a minute ago, about the players that are out on loan. What do we do with Maitland-Niles when he comes back? What do we do with Joe Willock? Big up to Conrad. He says, big up Lee. I'm a United fan. Both clubs give out silly contracts and both managers are not good enough. Spot on. Absolutely spot on, mate. Yeah, some of the contracts you've given out at Man United, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Some of the money you've spent on players, it's mad. Faller in the Championship, yeah. Doozy's good, man. I don't know why people don't rate Doozy. What's your prediction for Benfica? My friend, you will see that at about 6:30 tonight when I do my preview for the game. So yeah, make sure you come and tune in for that. Make sure you got notifications on, not only on your phone, but also on YouTube as well. Because if you haven't got them on your phone, you ain't going to get them if you've got them on YouTube. So make sure you got notifications on. Make sure you check out my Discord as well. The Discord is pinned to the top of the chat. It's also in the description as well. Well over 200 people on there now in literally less, well, it's about one night, one day, 24-hour period. So big up to all of you lot. I appreciate that. Let's read some more of these comments out. Like I said, I will be back again at about 3 o'clock as well. When Champions League football's on, I'm going to start doing earlier streams. There's no point streaming at 9 o'clock when Champions League football's on. Same on Friday when Wolves play Leeds. So I will not be doing 9 p.m. streams when football's on anymore. The views are fucking dead. No point doing it. The show me in Turkish did the other day normally gets mad views. And because Chelsea were playing, it's got dead views. So maybe I'll have to have a word with Turkish and maybe swerve that if there's teams on Monday as well and put that somewhere else. But there you go. Anyway, Miguel Aziz. You hipsters, man. I swear, all you hipsters in my chat make me die, you know. You lot are funny, man. You lot are funny, bruv. I am always notified. Nice one, man. Appreciate that. Arsenal will beat Benfica, and I'm a Benfica fan. And this year, we do not play well. You've got some dangerous players, though, man. Obviously, listen, I'm going to take your word for it. I ain't watched a single one of your games all season, so I'm going to take your word for it. But yeah, I'm going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how we line up against you, how we take the game to you, or how we defend and stuff like that. Because we don't need to go and attack, because we get a goal. It's an away goal. It'd be nice if we could do to you what PSG did to Barcelona last night. That was a madness. So yeah, if we could come out with the tie already done, then I'll be buzzing with that. Big up to Ollie B. Do you buy Arsenal's merch? Well, my missus tends to buy most of it for birthdays and Christmases and Valentines and shit like that. I did buy the shirts myself this season, the actual home, away and third kit. But other than that, she buys most of it, mate, to be fair. Let's continue on. Let's do another 3 or 4 minutes. Balogun should be a backup striker. He's better than Eddie. Cashing on him and Lacazette. 100% agree with you, man. Like, I just don't. I don't really understand why we rejected money for Eddie Nketiah to then not put him in a squad since. That's just weird, isn't it? Where's Pablo Mari? Does anyone know where Pablo Mari is? Where are you, Pablo? I don't know where he's gone, bruv. Like, man had a slight calf strain and we ain't seen him for 5 weeks. It's a madness. The good news is, though, Tierney is back in training. He trained yesterday. So that's good. That is good. How many Arsenal tops do you own? Well over 50. I know that many. It's probably touching 100 and saying, I don't know, mate. I've never counted them. I've got loads back in Spain. I've got one that's signed by the Invincible team. I think the only player I haven't got on it, the only people I haven't got on it, sorry, was Wenger and David Dean. Other than that, it's got the whole Invincible team signed. So yeah, that shirt's my little pride and joy, that one. And it took me forever to get all the signatures on it. But I did it. But yeah, let's do a few more. Pablo Mari was on the bench the last game. He was on the bench the last game, but this is what I don't understand. Like, how can you just have a calf strain for like just just precautionary, him and Tierney, and then they both miss 5 weeks. That just don't add up. It really don't add up. But what do I know? Marie is overrated by our fans. I've said this before, man. Like, I want to see him play 20, 25, 30 games before we can form a proper opinion on him. The one thing I will say is when him and Holding played together, we went on that little run. So, and we looked good defensively. We weren't shipping loads of shots against us. We were cool, calm, collected. Maybe that was the teams we were playing against, West Brom, Newcastle, etc. But I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens with him. As it stands right now, I'd say maybe Gabriel and Marie are probably our best partnership. And people go, oh, but they're both lefties. Who cares? Really, seriously, who cares? You don't have to have a lefty on the left and a righty on the right. You know, play with who's the best centre-back pairing. Back in the day, everyone was right-footed pretty much, and it was only the odd lefty had come out the woodwork. You know, all this like focusing too much on, oh, he has to be left-footed to play on the left side. What a load of rubbish. It's mad. What is your best memory of Arsenal during the Emirates era? Does it have to be a game at the Emirates? Chelsea Cup final. Chelsea Cup final. Although, just watching Alexis Sanchez every week, bruv, live was mad. Alexis Sanchez was such a good player, man. I loved watching him. Seeing some of the goals he scored, man. And seeing that geezer play live week in, week out. Absolute baller, bruv. So, yeah, I'd say that. Alexis and the cup final win against Chelsea. Against the Chelsea. But let's do 3 more, and I'm going to get out of here. Let's do 3 more. This is a great question. Big up to you, Ingers. Hope you're well, man. Where would we be with Wenger this season? We would be, wait for it, top 4. Top 4, 100%. I ain't even got no qualms about saying that. We'd also be top 4 if Emery was manager this season. It's mad. No, I just don't understand how we're... Well, I do understand. Because the manager ain't good enough. And yeah, I do think that if Wenger... I said this to my missus the other day. If Wenger or Emery are in charge of this team right now, we'd be in the top 4. Right now as it stands. Whether we'd finish there or not, I don't know. But as it stands right now, we would be top 4. Because they both would have played better formations, better tactics, better players in better positions, etc., etc. So yeah, I think, and like I said, I've said this before, when you look at the team that Unai Emery had, it's crazy how he even was in contention for top 4. You know, people go, oh, but the teams have improved now. Well, the teams ain't really improved, have they? Some of them have improved, but then some of them are just declined. That's why there's 7, 8 places inside 4 points, because some teams have got better, like Aston Villa, like Everton, yeah, like Leicester, yeah, and then teams like Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, Liverpool this season have all got worse. So it's mad. That's why there's a... But when Arsenal were trying to break into that top 4, go and have a look at the teams that finished in that top 4. It's mad. And Unai Emery nearly got us there. Wenger was getting us in there with some right old shit in our team. So I think if he had this team that we've got now, I think he would finish top 4. I genuinely do. I genuinely do. Big up to Divesh. We've lost 4 games because of red cards. That's not the reason we've lost games. We've lost 4 games because the tactics were shit. But red cards obviously do help. I get that. But I'll give an example. The Wolves game. Yeah, we get the red card. It's 1 apiece. We're going at half time. Probably if you're going to get a red, the perfect time to get a red is half time. You've got 15 minutes to put a game plan together. Dust yourselves off and go again. No manager in world football takes off the striker at half time, because that is your hold-up man. That's the guy who is going to keep the ball. That is the guy. Yeah, there's no other guy on the pitch that can hold the ball up like Lacazette with his back to goal. So why would you take that off? And he is our top scorer. You don't need to go and chase the game at that point, but you just need an out ball. Yeah, nobody else takes their striker off. Then when you go 2-1 down to an absolute fucking worldie, you then take off the second top scorer. You now need a goal, so why are you taking him off? It makes no sense to me. So that, for me, wasn't because of red cards, that Wolves game. But it is what it is. We can't change. We can't change that now. Big up to Glenn. He says, I'm only 18, but you've taught me a lot about Arsenal, especially pre-Wenger history and football. It's very inspirational. Admire the passion for your passion for the club, unlike the bald and some fans. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. You lot have been sick today in the comments. Some really nice, positive words. Thank you very much. And I know a lot about my club. I don't know everything, but I do know a lot. But yeah, man. Big up to my boy Sate. Back in the UK next month, I'll start my membership again. YouTube don't allow me as I'm in Gambia. It's so stupid. Bruv, Gambia and Kenya, and I think Canada, for some reason, don't allow it. But chill, bruv. It's no drama, bruv. It's no dramas whatsoever. And yeah, man, hopefully I'll be back in Spain by then. They ain't got any flights to Spain until the end of March, which is just fucked because it is freezing outside. Look how pale I am. I'm like a milk bottle. What's that all about? Milk bottle settings. I need some sun on my skin again, man. And all my pals on Instagram and that are out there. Yeah, it's like 23, 24, 25 degrees already. It's like it's only mid-Feb. And these men are on the beach having barbecues and sitting around the pool and fuming. And on that bombshell, I'm going to get myself out of here. You lot have been sick today. Thanks for all the kind words, man. I will be back again with Matisse in 45 minutes on his channel. With Tobes as well, and I will be back on here at about 3 o'clock. Yeah, probably 3 o'clock. We'll do 3 o'clock, and then I'll be back again at 6:30 on here with a preview for the Benfica game. After that, I'm done for the day. Going forward, that is something I want to do a little bit more often because the nighttime streams, especially during these lockdown times, the football's on every day and it's just killing the views off. So if I can get the streams done and on before football kicks off, then not only does that help me, but it also helps the channel grow as well and gets you guys involved, or more of you guys involved, because more of you will be in the stream. So yeah, man, all have a wonderful afternoon. Adios, amigos. Don't forget, Arteta out regardless.